We mucked about a bit. What on earth are you doing with your voice? Sometimes Margaret had popped out. God, I don't know what to do.
Hello, I'm Benjamin Karen. I am the lead director and executive producer of The Crown. Diana. Emma's audition is notorious. It actually came about through Camilla's audition. We were looking for Camilla's. Nina Gold and Robert Stern, our casting directors, had brought in Emma to read for Diana. And I remember watching the casting tapes and being completely drawn to this very small part of the screen, sort of literally just down there, and it was Emma.
She did the most extraordinary thing in the audition, which really struck me, which was Peter spoke to her about a song from Phantom of the Opera and an idea he had. And what I loved about this young woman is that she said, okay, and she sang it unaccompanied live to a room full of people, and you could see the vulnerability, the flush of it coming through her cheeks. And that was the moment when I saw that, I was like, she can do this. I remember Ben looking to Suzanne and he was like, can I do it? Can I do it now? And Suzanne was like, yeah. And then he kind of got down a bit like he was proposing and was like, will you be our Diana? And I got home, my flatmates came home, and I managed to not tell anyone probably for like 15 seconds. And I was sitting there being like, God, I don't know what to do. You know, for us, it was really exciting to see Emma come in and Gillian, you know, these newbies. And it was just like, oh, we're the sixth formers.
Oh, Diana, Margaret Thatcher. Diana, Margaret Thatcher.
I couldn't tell anyone when I was cast as Margaret Thatcher, although I think I did. Power is nothing without authority. The two characters and the fiction that's written is so enjoyable to play. The complexity of that relationship, or as I think Philip says in the series, that two bears can't live in one cave. It's very apt. It was just really fun to have those sort of horrible moments with brilliant Gillian.
Thatcher is such a huge figure in our political history and in this country's history, and so I think it has to have a certain weight to her. But I think there are also aspects which I hadn't maybe anticipated. Gillian at times was quite funny with her as well. There's a sort of almost comedic element to it.
Oh, so you did hear what I said?
Well, of course I heard what you said. I don't need to look at you to show you I'm listening to what you say. But it might be nice. I don't have the time to be nice. Golly, he obviously tells you everything. We talk most days.
It's a famous lunch between Camilla Parker Bowles and Diana Spencer, where these two finally meet. And I wanted just to play around a little bit before we actually came to shoot the scene. So unexpectedly, or unexpected to them, I brought Josh in. So even though he's not actually in the scene, I had him sitting in the middle of the table between both Emma and Emerald. And one of the exercises was that only one of you can put your hand on his. And if you remember the scene, Camilla's already there. So right from the very beginning of the scene, we rehearsed it, Emerald put her hand on Josh's and kept it there throughout the entire scene. And it made it really uncomfortable for Emma.
It kind of brought to our attention the fact that regardless of whether Josh was physically there, Charles we were, even though we weren't explicitly doing it, we were battling it out over him. And it's such an interesting dynamic, and that kind of encapsulates the whole thing.
Who are you referring to?
Camilla.
Why would I care about her?
Because I care about her! Read those scripts and all you can think is I just want to effectively tell this story and portray it in the way that Peter has written it. It's not my job to tell the true story of Prince Charles. That's not what we're doing at all. I like the way Peter takes quite a strong position on certain characters and imagining how they might think or feel, because that's the bit that he doesn't account to us.
And the amazing thing about Peter's writing is that it offers up this intensely complex human character who is so intricate that it kind of requires you to forget about pressure and about this icon thing.
Can't you ask Peter?
The historian's ink is no more than fluid prejudice, I think Mark Twain said, and I'm not entirely persuaded that accuracy is a virtue in itself. This is an interpretive medium and a creative medium. If I felt that at the expense of an inaccuracy I was somehow violating an underlying truth, then I couldn't live with that. So you get into this accuracy versus truth thing.
I think this conversation's gone as far as it can.
You were the one who insisted on talking.
I approach the specific characters from the point of view of never doing an impression. We try not to do impersonations, mainly because the situations are all real, they all happen in history, but the dialogue is made up, and so we have to make it up.
You see Erin, who plays Princess Anne, she's always like jeans and t-shirt, she's rocking around, she's so brilliant, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And then this very assured, quite brittle person appears, and you think, okay, I don't know where Erin's gone, but this is great.
The majority of marriages survive because the majority of people aren't fantasists. They are realists and accept the imperfect reality of being human.
I wanted to make Charles right, and I'd worked really hard on his voice. So I felt like, I'd done all this work on the character, but I just wanted to make sure I got the voice right. And I turned up on the first day, and I did the first take, and the director came over to me and said, "What on earth are you doing with your voice?" I think it was just nerves, and then it was all settled in, and I was I was totally fine.
With Thatcher, we work out little systems for her to put on her heavy earring or work with her hands to make her very valid points. The idea is to find a shorthand and a vocabulary so that an actor can stimulate some truthful action.
Her physicality is a big part of what we remember of her. She had a very particular way of walking, for instance.